Hi friends, David here from Learn Christmas Lighting, and if you are new to Christmas lighting, then you may look around online and hear people talk about pushing pixels. And so today we want to answer, what is pushing pixels? Why do you need to do it? How do you do it? And most importantly, how can you do better than I did the first time that I went to push pixels and I was in pain? So much pain. All that and more right here. So to begin, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you're probably familiar that pixels are the type of Christmas lights that I prefer. And they come in a number of different varieties, different shapes, but by far the most common is this right here, which is the node type pixel, okay? Similar to the node is the square node, which has a flat back to it. And when we're working with these, we're going to be putting them to make our shows inside of what are called props, okay? And props are just any item. Like this is a mini matrix prop where the pixels go in a grid. This is a straight line prop, a pixel strip from Boscoyo Studios. And this is a corrugated plastic prop, a singing face, actually. Isn't he happy? He's happy, okay? And what we need to do is get our pixels into our props, right? Kind of makes sense. And so to do that, there's a couple things we got to think about to get started. So we'll unwrap our pixels here. These are actually an extra from a few years ago. And we'll stretch them out. And we're going to have on a typical pixel a input end, which is typically the male, typically pins to power. But if you don't know, you can look on your pixels real close and you will see a 12 volt or 5 volt or V positive, then DI or DO for data in or data out, and then ground. That's the key. Find the one that's data in on the end. That's your starting point, okay? And this is important because as we get together and we put things in X-Lights later, or Vixen, you're going to need to know where the pixels start and what order they go in, okay? So once you do that, you're ready to push your pixels in. If you've got something like this corrugated plastic prop, then guess what? Pushing the pixels in this guy is easy. Support it from the back. Make sure there's typically a back and front to these guys. Make sure you get it oriented the right way. Pull up the wiring diagram in X-Lights. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but I cover that in others as well as inside of Learn Christmas Lighting Academy. And then you can go ahead and start at the start, which on this one I haven't looked at where the start is. And you push the pixels in. Okay? Now, if you're just doing corrugated plastic props like these, pull this pixel out real gently, chances are you don't need any pixel aids, any guides to help you push them in. Coro is fairly soft and not that hard to push the pixels in. Maybe you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments. However, the Boscoyo strips, matrix panels, and similar products out there, if you go with these and you start pushing these pixels by hand into these props, you will be in pain. Pain. Now you only have to do it once, but I remember the first year that I did pixels, I wasn't aware that there were tools to help us out. I had no idea. I was pushing 300 pixels. On my first afternoon doing it, I pulled all my stuff out. I was real excited to get started. I think I pushed 50 pixels, and then my hands hurt so much. Because there's a couple things you've got to do. The first is to get a good push, you have to be able to push the pixel through, give some force to that pixel, but you also have to be able to support the object that you're pushing so that the area around the circle where it's pushing in is well supported, okay? So for that, there's a variety of things you could use. You know, one thing that a lot of people use is a 10 millimeter socket. That's about the right size. You know, if you go a little bigger, it's fine, and that's great. You can also get, there's a couple things you can get, is first is with the socket and the bullet node, there are pixel pliers. Many vendors sell these, and they're real simple. You just take your pixel in the plier, like so. Okay, line that up in there, so that you're behind. There's like a little flangey piece where it catches the pixel strip. And then you go ahead, you push them in, support around it with your socket or whatever else I don't have right with me, and you're good to go. That can work pretty well. You do have to move the socket every time you want to move, but if you use a socket or a piece of wood that you drilled a hole in, you could clamp that to your work surface, move the strip along as you go, and it will work pretty well. These are great and allow you to give a good bit of force, and you have a pretty wide grip with the end of it. And then you just, again, grab each pixel in there, push it in, you're ready to rock and roll. I also have, and I think I prefer, these 3D printed pixel pushers, okay? I got mine from All Layered Up 3D a few years ago. You can get them from other places. And they come with these pixel pushers and also a strip, a plastic strip piece that you can actually push strips like this through. And if you're doing a lot of this Boscoyo strip, now I misplaced mine, I think it's up in the attic somewhere, but if you're doing a lot of this Boscoyo strip, it is a lifesaver. Because you just feed this into that plastic piece, and then it supports it, no socket needed underneath, it leaves room for the pixel to push through. Okay, and then these guys, they work really similarly, okay? They save your butt. This one, for example, is the one for the nodes. So we can see here it has a cutout basically where the node fits in the bottom. Has room for the wires to be out of the way going up. Has this nice big T-handle. I really like it because you just get this fat grip on it. And then you go ahead, you support it. Boom, you push it in. I'm not going to push it in all the way because I'm not actually pushing pixels right now. Okay? And so I like these a lot. They also work, these ones also work for these square nodes. So I prefer the CliffsNotes version. I prefer the square type nodes, these guys with the flat back, when I am doing things that are directly mounted on my house, because the wires, especially at 2 or 3 inch spacing, and the back does not stick out as far, so it doesn't push the things off the house as much, and I find that that works really well. So when we're talking about these guys are squares, pretty much the same process. You find the start of your string here. And then the pixel pushing set that I got from All Layered Up has different sizes. There was a bigger one of these flat pushers. Again, it's just a flat surface to push with, but it really saves you. It keeps your hands from cramping up, especially if you do a lot of these. All right, so you take that guy, you line this guy up, boom, you push it in, you're ready to rock and roll. So that's really all it takes. I mean, it's pretty simple, but I think the biggest thing is being aware that these tools exist. When I first started, I had no idea. And there was so much pain inflicted upon me that first year or two, pushing all these pixels by hand. Now, you know better. So below, I'll have links to different places that sell these, to some options there. Most pixel vendors will at least have the pliers. The pusher set are often from people that just do like 3D printed stuff, but you should be able to find them. We'll make sure we have links below. And please do buy a set. I mean, for like, you know, couple bucks for a pixel plier. I think it was like 15 bucks or 10 maybe for this whole set of stuff. This pusher set from All Layered Up 3D. Like, you are going to save yourself so much frustration and so much pain in your hands, and it's just 100% worth it. So go grab yourself some pushers, make your life easier, and I'm so excited for you I'm excited to help you make great Christmas lighting this year. And if you are new here, hop over to learnchristmaslighting.com. I've got a free guide. It's the 3 things I need you to know before you buy any Christmas lights. It's yours free when you enter your email. Get that here. Watch this video. It's for you. It's something you should watch about how to put props together. Similar to this video, just a little different. See you guys there. Thanks.